Hey everyone, it's Ryan with Stock Investing and Trading 101. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to briefly introduce to you guys a little bit about my story, about who I am and how I got to this position. I'm going to be doing a more detailed video with, possibly a face reveal and more details about where I was before I started investing in the stock market and before I became successful, because it was a long journey. There was a lot of childhood issues. There was drug addiction, homelessness, going to prison. I think it's a quite interesting story and perspective that's different from the majority of traders or successful people that you see. So I think it would be a good video, and if you're interested in hearing about that, don't forget to smash the like button, drop a comment. I don't want to make videos if nobody's interested in hearing about me or they don't care. Then I'd rather just continue to share my portfolio and more stock related information. But today, like I said, I'm going to be telling you guys how I got here. I've been investing in the stock market for 2 years. It took me about a year and a half to become profitable. So the majority of my stock trading journey, I've actually been losing money. And finally, everything is starting to pay off. And it's just a great feeling. And so, and the point of this video isn't for me to flex or to, show my gains or brag or anything. It's to show people who are either unprofitable, they want to become a better trader, or maybe they don't even have any money to trade or very minimal money, that you can start with absolutely nothing and become successful in a very short period of time if you educate yourself, you set your goals, you work hard every day and just stay focused on achieving your goals. I can almost guarantee that you will find success. And that's pretty much what it all boils down to, simplified. But let's, go back a few years. And first of all, I'll talk to you guys about my story. I'm currently 27 years old. I started investing about 2 years ago, which would mean I started saving and investing at about age 25. Before that, I had a couple years in prison. I had a couple years of drug addiction, and pretty much my whole adult life up until age 25, I was broke. We had no money. There was homelessness involved during certain points. So it was definitely a difficult journey for me to get here, and nothing was given to me. I had no family, and so it's definitely not some kind of like inheritance story or, mommy gave me $10,000 and then I started trading. It was nothing like that. But that's going to be more for another video where I talk about my story more in depth. Right now, I just want to talk about the start of my trading journey. So at about age 24, I worked at a factory as a temp worker for about a year. I hated it. I worked super hard. I got paid like $10 an hour, or maybe $9.50 an hour, and was working 50 hours a week. It sucked, to simplify it. But I was very frugal. I've always been frugal. I've been good at saving. And I started saving money and putting it in a bank account. And at this point, at about age 25, I had maybe, $5,000 or $10,000 that I saved from working at this factory, overtime, week after week. All this work just to save a measly $10,000. So I had it in a bank account, and I wanted it to grow because I was earning like 0.25% of interest or some ridiculous interest rate at my bank. And I knew that I needed to invest it. I needed for it to be growing while I was working, so that, it's just something that you need to do if you want to build wealth. You need to have your money compounding, whether it's real estate, whether it's stocks, whether it's a business, whatever it might be. I didn't have the opportunity to get into real estate because, I'm starting here with, maybe $500 or $2,000. So pretty much my only option was to get into the stock market. So what I first started doing was, first of all, I was depositing some of my money into Robinhood. I was also studying on YouTube, following all the, YouTube stock traders and financial stock YouTube people. I was also reading a lot of self-help books, and I think this is really the most important step of all, is to educate yourself. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, a ton of books that I read, and not all of them were stock related. In fact, the majority of them were more self-help related than they were stock related. So I invested my money at the end of 2018. I was investing in some trash companies. I had my whole portfolio invested in monthly dividend companies. I know I see traders all the time asking, what's the best monthly dividend stocks? What stocks pay dividends every month? It's like the newcomer's dream is a monthly dividend company. And I know that it's a quite common thing. It was common for me. And it took me, pretty much a whole year to find out that monthly dividends were not the way to get rich quick. It sounds like it's a great way to compound your money. You're getting all these dividends every single month. But the fact is, the majority of the time, the companies are either losing money, or the dividend could get cut, or you might get a 10% dividend yield, but at the end of the year, the stock is down 10%, so you're pretty much breaking even or losing money. But that's pretty much what I did for the first year. I was still studying, I was still practicing and trading, but I just wasn't invested in the right things. I also joined a Discord group, a stock trading group. It was a paid group, and I met a trader who kind of mentored me, and I definitely give him a great amount of credit to my success. I was able to ask him and do one-on-one sessions with him, kind of asking questions and learning a ton. So I do give a ton of my success to him. But so I was learning technical analysis. I was learning how to read charts, to draw trend lines, to use Fibonacci's, and all of this mumbo jumbo that eventually will help. And I think, you should learn it if you want to trade stocks. But I think it first of all starts with education of just finance, compounding interest, the basics. You got to know the basics before you can go to the advanced stuff. So towards the end of 2019, we ended the year with about a 2% loss, which really sucked. We lost 2% after all this hard work. And we kind of started to realize monthly dividends weren't for us. We need to invest in real companies. We need to invest in S&P companies, dividend aristocrats. And so I started to do that. And unfortunately, in March, the COVID correction happened, which definitely hurt, I'd say, the majority of people. Got really hurt in March. And at the lowest point, we lost 52% of our portfolio. I was invested in proper S&P 500 companies, but I was invested in kind of the lower quality ones that were paying high dividends. You can think of AT&T, Cedar Fair, which is an amusement park, which obviously got destroyed from COVID. And just, the higher yielding, more low growth companies, which were obviously the worst performing during the market crash in March. And pretty much what really helped me and what really, was able to make me successful was aggressively buying during March. So during March, I know there was a lot of negativity. I would talk to some of the people around me. We would talk about stocks and how the market was crashing. And I would tell them, I'm investing pretty heavily. I'm buying right now. And a lot of them were telling me I'm buying too early. They were like, I wouldn't buy right now because you don't know how long it can keep going down. And I think we're just getting started. I don't think it's going to bounce back anytime soon. So at this point, I was kind of a contrarian. And I think the big point here is that all it takes is for you to find one opportunity to make it big. I know back in the Great Recession in 2008, a lot of people got very wealthy. I know during March, a lot of people made a lot of money. So all it takes is one big correction or one good trade, and your whole life can change. With that being said, you don't want to go around hunting for that stock that's going to make you $10,000 overnight. You want to wait for it to come to you, which can take a year, it can take a decade, or it can take a couple days. You never know. But if you stay consistent and you know what you're doing, it will come. But pretty much after the March correction, the market started to go up, and it's pretty much been going up ever since. So I don't want to drag the video on, but just to kind of show you guys how long it took me from pretty much November 2018 all the way to July 26th of 2020 just to finally break even and make 2%. So if you aren't profitable yet, just stick around in the market. Don't blow your account. Don't give up. The reason the majority of traders don't make money is because they give up. If you lose money and give up a year later, you're never going to be able to become profitable because you gave up. If you trade for a year and you lose 10% of your portfolio, but you stick around, you can easily make that 10% up. It's not a big deal. It's a matter of sticking around, staying focused, and just not giving up. But yeah, so the correction ended. April, May, June, July came around. We broke even, and pretty much since then, the portfolio has just been going up and up. And the thing is, the more that you save, the more that you invest, the more quick the compounding returns happen. So, if my portfolio was only a couple $1,000s, which it was for, over a year, we would only make $1,000 or $2,000. But now that my portfolio is $25,000, we could make $500 to $1,000 in one day. And eventually my portfolio will be $100,000 and we'll be able to make, $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 per day. And so the longer you stick around, the more exponential the returns will become from compounding. If you have $1 million portfolio and you get a 1% gain, that's going to be like $10,000. So it's an exponential type of thing. But yeah, I don't want to drag the video on too long. I guess the moral of the story is, first of all, no matter where you are in life, no matter how little or how much you have or whatever problems you have, it's definitely possible for you to become successful. And it's not going to take that long if you, stay focused, if you set aggressive goals, if you work hard every single day to reaching those goals, good things will come. And so I think that's the main message. And, there's other messages that education is very important and to not give up. And everything during the long term will pay off greatly. So if you're interested in hearing more about my story, for pretty much the majority of my adulthood with all of the trials and tribulations and, negative things that happened, I'm definitely going to be dropping a video with a face reveal and really letting you guys know who I am and kind of showing you guys. But I think, I just wanted to get this message out there and let people know, anything is possible. I don't want to sound cliche and, say all these things, but I know firsthand from my own experiences, it only took me a couple of years to go from nothing to something, and I still have a long way to go. But I just wanted to share this journey with you guys, and it's going to be interesting to see that, in two years from now, who knows where I'll be. If I was broke 2 years ago and now I have, all of these portfolios and getting into real estate, then who knows where I'll be 2 more years from now and then 10 years from now. And so, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. It really helps for the YouTube algorithm, and we'll talk to you guys soon.